Today I'll show you how I put together these battery-operated street lamps for use in our tabletop games and Dungeons & Dragons. So it's the holiday season, and you can find these at most craft stores and hobby stores. This is a pack of 4 wire-strung street lamps for like a Christmas village or like a holiday village kind of setup. Now these are pretty neat. They're battery operated, and they come on a fairly long wire, and there's 4 of them that are all attached to each other. Runs on 3 AA batteries. Which, let me just kind of put these in here for you so you can kind of see how they light up. There we go, and boom. Nice simple little lights. They don't glow super bright, but they are pretty neat, and when I saw them at the store I thought, you know what, I've just got to do something with these. So today I'm going to show you what I did to turn them from wired lights to battery operated lights. Now, one thing we are going to have to do is modify these quite a bit, so let's go ahead and get started. And to get started, we're going to start with the wiring. Okay, so first thing I did was I clipped off all the lamps at about an inch to inch and a half of wire remaining on each one. Now, each one of these comes with a little wreath attached to them, and it just kind of pops off with a little bit of effort. I'm going to hold on to those and use them for a different craft at some point. Now, each one of these has a little kind of backing on the bottom, and it just kind of protects the wires going into the base. Now, we're going to go ahead and remove that. Some of them are a little bit easier to remove than others, though, so if you do this, be a little cautious as you remove them. Now I'm going to very carefully strip away the insulation on the wires, and that's going to expose a few little things inside. Now, each one of these wires has 4 or 5 little wires inside the insulation. We're going to expose those wires on both sides. Come on, break free. There we go. Now what we have is one side that's pure silver wires and one side that's silver and copper. We want to keep those separate, but we also don't want them getting kind of tangled up or frazzled. So I'm just going to kind of quickly twist the wire ends together just to kind of make it a little bit easier to work with. So you can see here it's kind of twisted together where the other one's kind of still frizzled up. So I'm going to do the other one. Now you don't want this so tight that it's going to break free, you just want it a little bit snug so that it's easier to work with. Alright, so now we've got our 2 wires, and I'm going to use these. These are little battery packs, and they're made to fit a CR1220 battery. Why this size? Well, plain and simple is it's the one that I bought, and it just happens to fit on the bottom of our street lamp. Now, you are going to have to play around with it and figure out which side is the positive and which side is the negative on the battery pack. Now, once you've figured that out, you can attach it to the bottom so that the positive wire is on the positive side, negative wire is on the negative side. Now, it just so happened that the copper wire fit the flat side, so that's kind of what I'm lining everything up with. So I superglued the battery pack onto the bottom of the street lamp, and then just kind of very carefully wrapped the wire around the lead coming off the battery pack. So you can kind of see here how it ended up. And then I'll do the same on the other side. Now, absolutely leave the battery in when you're doing this, just to make sure that the connection is actually good. I tried it without the battery, and then I put the battery in, and things didn't quite work. The light wouldn't turn on. So I leave the battery in for this step, just to kind of make sure that everything still works. Now, I hate soldering, and I am absolutely terrible at it, so I found this. This is AP wire glue. This is kind of like a... it's not really metal, but it's got a metallic paste inside of it, along with something called a binder. Now, the binder will dry and cure and still allow electricity to flow through it for the wires. So we're going to use that to glue the wires into place so that they don't come loose. Alright, so now that that's set, we can work on the bases. Now, why do we need a base for this? Well, the simple answer is we don't want the battery pack to be seen. So I found these washers. They're about 1 inch in diameter, and they're going to be perfect for creating a base for our street lamps. And they're going to add a lot of weight, making it a lot harder for these to get accidentally tipped over. And then we're going to use some of our 5mm bricks that we've made in the past to kind of add a little bit of a raised lip around the edge. But since the washer is metal and we're attaching it to a battery pack, we're going to glue everything down onto a playing card. Now, the playing card is the side that we're going to attach all of our foam bricks to, and that is because we don't want the battery to accidentally contact the washer and create a false positive on the battery circuit, leading to the lamp not lighting up when we put the battery in and then put it into the base. So adding the playing card will create a little bit of a barrier in between the washer and the battery to prevent that from ever being an issue. Now, once the washers have had a chance for the glue to dry, I'm just going to quickly trim away all the excess card, and my camera will refuse to focus during this entire time. Sorry about that. But once we've got it all trimmed away, we've got a pretty nice, neat little base. Alright, so I trimmed the edges of the bricks, just a little bit of a nip of an angle, both in the same direction. This is going to make it a lot easier for everything to wrap around the edges of the base here. So you can kind of see that the angles line up and just kind of slowly create a circle as I'm gluing the bricks down. Now, as sheer coincidence would have it, it took 8 bricks on each of the bases to wrap all the way around. And if there was a little bit too much of a gap, I took an extra brick, trimmed it, and then put it into place. But it makes a fairly reasonable circle of bricks, so that was pretty convenient and really nice. Alright, one final brick here. And there we go. Nice, simple little base. Now we want to make sure that the battery pack fits, so I'm just going to press it in, and then anywhere where the battery pack would contact the brick and not slide into place, I'm just going to trim it away with an X-Acto knife, just so that everything fits nice and snug inside. Alright, and there we go. That looks pretty good. And it doesn't tip over. Alright, so the bricks look a little bit too clean and a little bit too straight edged, so I'm going to just kind of press it down into my texture plate here to add a little bit of roughness and just kind of break up the straight lines. And then re-exaggerate the spaces in between the bricks just a little bit to make sure that everything looks the way I want it. Yep, that looks really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the painting on these. Now, to base coat everything, it's just a simple mix of black paint and Mod Podge, and then once that dried, I do an overbrushing of some Artist Loft Gray, just to give it that nice stone undercoat. Then once that dried, I give it a quick dry brushing of some neutral gray to add that nice kind of raised highlight. And that's really it for the painting. There's not much to this. We don't have to paint the streetlights since they already come in the colors that are going to look appropriate. And yeah, that's it for the build. Alright, the street lamps are finished. It's time to show them off in a little bit of a city setting here. I've got all these turned on. You can absolutely leave some on, have some off, but they add a nice little bit of accent and a little bit of extra depth to any kind of setting or scenario that you've got, and these are universal enough you can also use them in like a forested or woodland setting as well. But the best part about them, I think, is how they look in a darker setting. Now, I turned the lights off in my workshop, and it's a little dark in here, but you can kind of see how they highlight everything. If you've got them close enough together, you can still have a little bit of light. So I think in a dimly lit room, these are going to look great for like a night setting for gameplay. Alright, that's going to be it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe for future content, comment down in the comments section, and we will see everyone next episode.